What's up, people? I survived my birthday. It's kind of touch and go there for a minute. Uh-oh, hold on. I forgot to turn it. There we go. Oops. Forgot to turn one of the lights on. Okay, so now you can see me in living color. Okay, first of all, you know, we must remember that we're not in our 20s anymore. So, you know, we just went crazy because we were just so happy that it was our birthday. So we go out and we just hanging and we just drinking and eating and talking smack and staying up late. And then when I tried to wake up on Wednesday, it was just a struggle. And that whole day was a struggle. And last night, I think I was in the bed about 5:30. And Candace was like, you know what, I'm going to just change it because I know you're not going to get up. And she was right. And so here we are on Thursday, doing What the Fuck Wednesday on Thursday. But at least my head has cleared up. I had my massage I was supposed to get on my birthday. I had it today because there's too much going on. Just too much going on. So I had it today. And when I get the pictures off the phone, I'll show you guys the lady and tell you a little bit about her business. If you live in the Bay Area, you might want to check her out. She was really good. She worked on my shoulder. I spent most of the time working on my shoulder, so which is great because now I can move it and it doesn't make that like clicking sound it was making before. So we will be going back for round 2. Anyway, today is our advice column for people who submitted a question prior to the show. This is not the show we do that on the third Thursday where you come and you get your question answered in real time. This isn't that show. This is the one where people send their questions in advance. Throughout the chat, my moderator will be putting instructions for how you can submit a question if you want to. So you can check that out. I think if you're on YouTube, you'll see it across the screen. But today we have, I forgot to say, look, we got, 23. Yay, 2 less than we usually do. That's good. So you guys ready? This show is crazy. Hey, everybody. I see everybody here, the usual suspects. What was I getting ready to say? There was something I was getting ready to say. Oh, yeah. What was that? Diana Prince the other day thought that it would be a good idea to do a webinar about women speaking up and stuff. And I've been really in between drinks. I was giving that some thought, and I think that's something that's a good project for the fall. It would take me at least that long to put it together. So it would look like something and be, make sense. But I think she's right. It's time because just going by what's been coming through the advice column, I'm sure there's more evidence of it tonight. Women don't know what to say. They don't know how to stand up for themselves. They don't know how to erect any boundaries, and they don't know how to put people in check. Now, I may be wrong. It may not be that they don't know how, but whatever it is, they're not doing it. So whether they know how and not doing it or don't know how, and that's why they're not doing it, the end result is the same. They're just letting people run all over them and walk all over them and violate their boundaries. So, yeah, I think that would be a great
a great thing to do. Let me put this drink over here so I don't knock it over. And, I'll be looking into it. So I'll be asked, as usual, before I do anything like that, I always put up a survey to get your opinions about different things. So, to make it meet your needs. So look for that in a couple of weeks. So let's get started. We got 23 questions tonight. This is question number 1. It's a female in the 28 to 34 age group. She's from the UK. Summary of issue. Are, quote, traditional dating standards holding me back? I really like this guy, and he just bought a house all by himself. It's very expensive in this current climate, and that's pretty much all over the world. I went up to his country to visit him, and he was talking about how he saved up for this house and how everything he loved doing has taken a back seat, for example, traveling. I want to see him again, but everyone says the man should always pay. Don't buy a man things as a woman, etc. But I really want to take him out sometime or even split the bill on our get him a gift card for some furniture. Okay, one thing she's not saying is how long she's been, quote, talking to this dude. I know it's probably going to bite me in the butt, like being nice to men always does. But what do you think a man would feel if a woman offered to take him out or help him kit out his new flat? Y'all can certainly share your thoughts on this. I'm not going to limit it to mine. So what do you think? And then, if any guys are listening and you're in the chat on YouTube, because that's the only place you can put your chat, then please share your thoughts on how you would feel if a woman that not really dealing with like that, because it's like she's never said it was her boyfriend. She said she really likes him. So they're not a couple. So she wants to ask him out. She already chased him and went to his country. Okay, so that was the first thing she did. She made all the effort there. But, somebody got to go, so whatever. But then she wants to offer to take him out and give him a gift card to buy furniture for his new house. Now, what do you think about that? I can tell you what I think. I think she's acting desperate. Like this dude is the only dude that she could go out with. And because she really likes him, she's going to go through all these changes with no clue on how he feels about her. She's going to put all this energy, effort, and everything into chasing down this man and buying him stuff, spending money on him, and buying him stuff for his house. See, that's where I absolutely draw the line. If you guys want to go out and split the bill or something, I mean, it's nothing I would do, but I know you young people operate differently. And so, you could do that, see if he's interested. Sometimes, even though the guy is young, he's still got a very old-fashioned attitude, and he's not going to take this well. He's going to be like, no, if I take women out, women don't take me out. If he says that, you shut down immediately. Don't beg and weed. Oh, come on, because he's gonna put you over there in the stupid woman category. Okay, you let him say that to you one time, and then you drop it. If he wants to take you out and he has a spare capital, which doesn't sound like he does right now, then he would ask you out. But him telling you all that, I would take that as a man telling me, I'm not going to be asking you out because I'm not going to spend any money right now. Right now, I have other priorities. So you want to come up here and you want to be at my house with me and you want to let me tap it and stuff without a commitment and stuff, I'll certainly be amenable to that. I mean, it's great. It's like booty, like DoorDash booty. You call and it delivers. So if that's how you want to play yourself, you feel free. But would I recommend that you do that? Absolutely not. Does that represent a behavior of a woman who has some self-esteem and pride about herself? Absolutely not. Does your whole approach to dealing with this guy represent someone who is interested in having a mutually rewarding and a relationship with as much emotional investment on both ends? Does it not? Nope, it sure doesn't. So everything that you're doing here is nothing that it's not a traditional dating standard. It's a situation where this man has straight told you to your face that he ain't in that place right now. He told you this. This is not a traditional dating standard thing. This is a guy putting up a warning flag for you to pay attention to. You want him to invest in you. For men, invest also means time, energy, and money. And he's telling you right now it's not going to happen. So anything that you do chasing after this man, trying to convince him to be with you just because you like him that much, shows you to be desperate, to have very low self-esteem, to have no boundaries, and to have a very poor understanding of what when a man talks to you and gives you a message, what it means. So I caution you to rein yourself in and start looking around for other men in your country that's local and that's ready, willing, and interested in investing in you. This guy is not, and he's already told you that. Okay. Question number 2. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from the UK. Oh, a lot of UK folks. It's the first 2 letters. Yeah. Thanks, Foxy. That's so true. I mean, it's like the flag. I mean, it's like the whole, like one of my jokes, I say, it's like a Chinese parade with all the red flags. The New Year's parade, they have red flags everywhere because in that culture, red is luck, right? But in the context in which we use it, a red flag is not luck; it's a warning, and it's like red flags galore. But these girls just like run in like willy nilly, like totally ignoring it. Like I think they think their love is gonna change. I don't know what they be thinking, to tell you the truth, because they've never explained it to me in a way that makes sense. So let's go. She's 22 to 27. She's in the UK. Summary of issue: feeling down about something that happened. I've been with my guy for a couple of years now, mostly happy together, although there have been a few little arguments here and there. But something happened recently which I cannot seem to shake off. It comes back to me often and I cry when I recall it. We were away for a weekend about 3 months ago. 3 months ago, out of nowhere, we were having a normal conversation. He hurt me. I don't want to go into much further detail than that, but it was unprovoked, unexpected, and took my breath away. It hurt me. It could have potentially broken a bone. Wow. Did he body slam or something? It literally came out of nowhere. He could see I was in pain and I cried. He did apologize and cuddle me afterwards, and we both never mentioned it again, but I could not stop thinking about it. I don't know what I want from you, really. I've never told a soul about any of this, and I'm not going to either. I just needed to tell someone, I think. Okay, so you're telling me, who's like halfway on the other side of the world. It's completely anonymous because I don't know who you are. It's somewhere in the UK. But you have a man who 3 months ago hurt you and you're still with him. It was unprovoked. Not that I can understand how a woman could provoke a man to hurt her, but whatever. Unprovoked, unexpected, and it took your breath away and could have broken a bone. And yet you stayed. And all you doing is thinking about it. What you were supposed to do, young lady, is the second he did that, you're supposed to get up, get your stuff. Or if you couldn't do it then, because, sometimes it's a rough situation and you don't feel safe. So I'm not saying you have to do it that second, but at the first available opportunity, you get away from this man and then you dump him. You say, I'm just not cool with that at all. I don't know what you're trying to do. I don't understand it. But one thing I cannot do is stick around for round 2. So whatever this was we had is over. And I hope you get some counseling for that reaction that you had, because, it was very violent. And if I had been hurt anymore, I would be calling the police on your behind right now. But luckily it's, minor. And so I'm going to keep it that way and I'm out. You do not let a man hurt you and then you stay with him. I don't even let him say mean stuff to me. My ass is going to provoke because that's what I do. I want to see how you're going to respond. So before I do any emotional investment in you, I'm going to push every button that you had because I want to see how you respond. And if you get to fist flying and stuff, don't be saying nothing when you get ventilated, because when I do, you're not going to put your hands on me and survive. We're not doing that. So it's going to be a thing where, it's going to be me telling the police what you did, and then your mother coming to get you and put you in and start planning your funeral. That's what's going to happen to you. But for most women, they're just going to just deal with it and then try to figure out how to get away from you. But, it's just really, the dudes really should calm down with this kind of behavior, because more and more women are just not wrapped too tight. They're tired of being, they've been in situations where they've been abused or something before, and they're at their edge. A lot of people post-COVID are at their edge. So these dudes who messing with these women like that are taking their life into their hands. It's very high risk, because you never know when she gonna snap. Who has messed with her to the point where she's like just holding on to her sanity by her fingernails? And then here you come with some monkey shines mess, and then she flips out. And the next thing you know, your mother's holding your funeral, like I said. So, this is not a guarantee that you're going to survive, either one of you. So I don't recommend any woman stick around if this is the scenario that's being laid out. You need to get away from him, not only because he could hurt you, but because you could retaliate and then be behind bars if, the situation is not real clear-cut self-defense. So it's just bad juju all the way around. So just get away from men who do this kind of stuff. Stay far, far away from them, far away. Question number 3. This is a young lady in the 22 to 27 age group from San Luis Obispo, California. Summary of issue. Is it possible to fall for someone who is not your type? Oh, absolutely. My current boyfriend is not what a typical girl would want to date. He has almost the same height as me with an average build, but he is the sweetest and the most considerate guy I have ever met. I can't decide if I should continue with him or not. What do you think? I think if you 22, I don't know where you are in the 22 to 27. If you're on the 22 end, it probably is not that big of a deal. If you're on the 27 end, then you're probably more looking at something, you want to have like a husband, and you're looking for something a little bit more serious than somebody 21, 22 might be. You're 5 years older. You finished school. I mean, you probably got your master's by now, all this kind of stuff. So you're on a different level in life, and you're ready for something a little bit more serious. So you're going to be looking for a man to step up in a different way than somebody, 18, 19, 20, 21 might be. So I'm saying, what you're looking at, you want somebody tall, well, so do all the other women. You got a guy your height that's tall enough. What else you need? Okay. He's got an average build. Okay, so what? You want the Rock or something? Most dudes ain't built like that. The vast majority are short and funny looking. So you got somebody who's your same height, nice and decent looking, then I'm saying you got a trifecta and you better roll with it. Especially if he's sane. Have you seen the letters that come through across this column? Have you looked online at some of the stories that women be telling about the relationships that they're in? Girl, for real? You got somebody who's like ticking on the boxes of decency. I suggest that you rethink this thing about what he should look like and what his height should be and get with the program. So in other words, yes, you're going to continue with him until he shows you a reason not to. Okay? You shouldn't be looking at stupid stuff like how tall he is. And he's tall as you. He's not like he's a Smurf. What's the problem? Remember, what's her name? Christy, whatever her name was, the model, was married to Billy Joel. She was a good 1.5 feet. It seemed like, I don't know, maybe that was her high heels. But she was way taller than him. And they had a really good marriage for a long time. Bunch of kids, all kind of stuff. They ultimately split up. But she did not choose him because of his height. She chose him because of, he matched her needs. So you need to think about that. Okay? Because, the tall dudes tend to be kind of arrogant, if you know what I mean. Because they think, that they feel like they're at the top of the pecking order. So the short women want them and the tall women want them just because of their height. Now, they may deal with him and find out that he's a jerk. But initially, they're going to be attracted to him just because of his height. So tall guys, get a lot of female attention just because of that. And then what they do with it though? Is he got any sense? Is he a decent dude? What's this looking like? They're gonna be other factors. But the fact that he's towering over everyone, he's gonna get the attention of men and women because people will be like, dang, he's really, he's nice height and this kind of stuff. So it don't mean they want to get with him, but he's gonna get their attention. That's what I'm saying. So you found someone who's your same height. What's the problem? I don't get it. All I know is he's decent. You better shut up and deal with him. Question number 4. This is a male in the 28 to 34 age group from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Summary of issue. This is a what would Deb do question about my girlfriend wanting her mom to move in with us. Oh, hell to the no. But let's see what the details are. So my girlfriend and I bought a house last year, and she had her friend and a daughter stay with us, which didn't work out. My girlfriend and that woman are no longer friends after she treated our home like crap. Now we have 2 empty bedrooms and one is set up as a guest room. My girlfriend's mom is from another country and visits my girlfriend every 2 years and usually stays with her for 6 months. She loves it here, of course, compared to where she is, and has been wanting to come here soon. The point is that my girlfriend just bought her mom's plane ticket for November. I was hoping she would stay here for 6 months, but she's actually having her move in with us, like forever. I hinted to her that I didn't want her moving in right away, as I've never even met the mom, and she got disappointed and explained to me that without her mom, she wouldn't be where she is right now, with a great paying job here in America. I do get it since her mom paid for her school and everything, but even though they came from a poor family, but the thing is, I don't want her moving in right away. The mom really wants to move here because my girlfriend spoils her in every way and pays for everything. There's stuff I don't want to tell my girlfriend because I feel like she might get hurt. Like, for instance, the mom is in her 70s, and at the moment, we have no kids. But I feel like we would be taking care of a big kid. The thing about her mom is that she doesn't work or anything, so we would have to support her financially. My girlfriend doesn't mind buying her stuff all the time either, but we have a mortgage to pay, and we like to take vacations every now and then, and also eat out a lot. I feel like it's going to hit us financially as well. Also, I also feel like date nights will longer be there since my girlfriend would probably bring her with us everywhere we go. Another thing is she still treats my girlfriend like a kid and likes to tell her what to do and gets mad if she doesn't listen to her. I also feel like she gets into people's business real easy. I feel like I won't be comfortable in my own home with her living here, but I made sure to tell my girlfriend that I don't want her mom touching or moving my stuff around when she's here, as she does with my girlfriend's stuff. Another thing I feel is we would no longer have any privacy with here. What would you say or do in this situation, Deb? I would tell my girlfriend, first of all, this is half of my house. Your mama and nobody else is staying here, moving in with us. That's just it. She's not going to stay here. She's going to stay here for 3 months max, and then she's going back where she came from. If you don't like it, I will buy you out of the house and you can go back with her. Or you can take your money out the house and you can go buy a house and y'all can live in together. But one thing I'm not going to do is give up my life to take care of your 70-year-old mother, and you're not even my wife. You tripping. We are girlfriend and boyfriend. But see, you made that fatal error that I always tell people not to do. You bought a house with somebody that you're not married to, you idiot. I don't know what y'all be doing. Why you think that this is a good idea and makes any sense? Now look at the shit you got yourself into. If you don't want no parts of this, the best thing you could do is tell her that to use the money that she was going to be using to take care of her mother to buy you out, and then she can take care of her mother in the house, and you go on and get you something else. That's what I would tell her. See, that's how serious I am. She's not moving in here. I'm not taking care of nobody. And my money is not going to be going to your mother, and you still going to carry your end of half of the responsibilities in this deal we made. So don't think because your mother's here that I'm going to cut you some slack. It's not going to happen. These are all things that you need to say to her now so she can rethink this plan that she's planning to use you as a cushion while she spoils her mother and spends all her money on her mother and has you helping pay half the mortgage so her mother can have a place to stay and all that old shit there. Oh, no. No. You good, because soon as she said, I would have said, what? Did you ask me if she could come and live with us? No? Well, then it's not happening. You better tell her, you better get that return ticket, and it better be for 3 months, because she's not staying here not a day longer. I don't want nobody staying with me for 6 months, working my nerves. I want to be able to have my peace in the house I just bought, and I don't want your mother here. Like I said, and if she has a problem with that, then tell her, give me my money, my half of the money out then, and y'all can stay here. But as long as I'm paying half this mortgage, that bitch is not staying here. And if she didn't like the way I said it, I'll say, well, like I said, write me a check. And the problem we solved. I don't know what to tell you. Sure, can you imagine? And something she's like bossy and controlling and stuff. See, that would be the thing. Like, if you have an old person that knows how to come in and they cook and they clean and they help out around the house and stuff, it probably wouldn't be too much of a problem. He probably wouldn't really mind. They wouldn't have to spend a lot of money going out because the mom would cook dinners for him and, make them lunches and whatnot. And, she would be a helpful person around the house. He probably would be like, oh, okay, well, that's, this is not too bad. But then if she come in and she's bossy, she want to be changing stuff, telling people what to do and all this old stuff and being all up in your mix. See, that would not work for me. And I would be cussing her and her mother out. So it would be like a really bad situation. I already know how I am. I would be cussing out my in-laws and didn't really care. They wasn't living with me and still cussed them out. So you can just imagine if they was under my roof trying to tell me something, oh boy, it would be ugly. Question number 5. This is a female in the 50 to 56 age group. from Wolverhampton in the UK. Summary of issue. My mother is expecting me to support her financially. Oh, here we go. Here's another one. My widowed mom has a spending issue and is now expecting me to subsidize her lifestyle. She was widowed about 8 years ago and left with approximately 75,000 pounds from my father's life insurance. He left no private pension as he was self-employed, and both of them always lived for today and loved spending. When he was alive, she had a high disposable amount to do what she wanted. She does have a state pension and a small private pension. After some bills and tax from Dad's company, she was left with about 50,000 pounds. Within 2 years, she spent the lot, so she downsized and received another 50,000 pounds from the equity. After 6 years, this has now gone. Me and my sibling have had a very small amount of this, like 3,000 pounds each. This has never bothered us. The issue now is that my mother is very materialistic and likes a good spend, she says. For years, even when she has all the money, I struggle financially in the past due to, oh boy, this is not sounding good, promotion at work, but my kids are now self-sufficient, and me and my husband are feeling much better off financially. Me and my husband have worked hard to get where we are. We're very careful with money, and we don't spend frivolously. We aren't rich and still have a mortgage, but we can enjoy a better life now, like meals out, nice clothes, and holidays, weekends away, etc. The issue is now that my mother seems to resent this and has turned quite nasty over money, saying me and my siblings should do more to help her, saying we should pay for her holidays and her food. This is what her friends' children do, and we are neglectful, etc. I can see without backup savings, it's tight for her. However, she still goes out several times a week. That means she's not hurting for money. She should and could manage if she were careful. My feelings are I don't deserve this pressure, and whilst I don't mind helping her a little, I would have to compromise things we do, like going out, etc., to supplement her lifestyle, while she does nothing to cut back. Also, she is mortgage-free, and we aren't, so we feel spare money should go towards clearing that. I also feel after years of struggling, why should I, who is careful with money, subsidize someone I know, she's my mom, who is never mindful of what she spends or has spent? I've told her all this, but she doesn't take it well and is causing issues. Every few months, she picks a fight, and I get a whole awful daughter comment. I have helped her with food, but then she's been eating out 3 times, so we feel annoyed she isn't being careful. Any advice on how to handle this? I can't continue with this pressure and frankly causing unhappiness and want to distance myself, but I love her at the same time and care for her. I'm not remotely money oriented, but feel she has and is being rather unfair. Okay, her sentence structure is kind of whack, but when she wants to pick a fight, hang up the phone. Why do you sit there and listen to it? She's not paying you to listen to her go in a tirade about her entitlement. And that shows what I would tell her. You fucked over all your money. You fucked over your money doing what the hell you wanted to do when you wanted to do it. And so now you got to reap the repercussions of that. I'm not going to suffer for you. Did you give me any of that money that you got? Nope, not a dime. So there's no reason for me to give you mine. You have some money over there. You better make it work. And I don't know what to tell you about your friends and them kids. Maybe you better move in with one of your friends then. And then they'll help take care of you too. But I'm not going to do that. You had every opportunity to make yourself independent and to manage your money. But to think that I'm going to sacrifice myself now that I finally got my kids out of the house and now I have to take care of you, I'm not going to do that. You're perfectly healthy. You could go and get a part-time job if you want to. But instead, you'd rather be reaching into my pocket. It's not going to happen. So I don't know what to tell you. And if you keep up with this stuff or you keep calling me with this bullshit, then I'm going to block you and you won't be able to call me. That's where we're going with this next. I will be done with you, mother. And you will have nobody to talk to and nobody to depend on. And you think I wouldn't do it? Y'all don't understand about Leos. One thing we can do is our cutoff game is strong. And we don't give a fuck who you are. You could have birthed us. You could be our own kid. We don't care. It's like if you putting yourself in a position where you're going to be thinking you're going to be infringing on me, it's not if it's one thing if I give to you willingly. That's a whole different thing. But you come making demands and you trying to like intrude on what I'm trying to do. So I'm not going to be able to do what I'm trying to do or want to do because you feel entitled to what's mine. Psh, you about to get an earful and then you about to be put on block. And I would give no fucks about it. This is just unbelievable. Your mother's a trip. Question number 6. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group from Calgary, Canada. Summary of issue. Should I text this to a girl who ghosted me? Okay, before we even read this letter, the fact that you're thinking about texting somebody who ghosted you shows that you're not wrapped too tight. You want your feelings hurt. But let's proceed, because I would tell you, if you did that to me, your feelings from birth would get hurt. From the feelings that you used to have when you first recall a memory, lying in your crib at 1 year old, looking at the mobile overhead, those feelings, those would get hurt too. For context, we went on a first date, and at the end, she looked at the time and said, "Wow, this went by so fast." I walked her to her car, and we made out for a good minute. Okay, 60 seconds. We're in the middle of planning a second date, and she told me what day works for her. And I said, cool. I was thinking we can meet at blank, blank, blank place, grab some food, and go by the water. What time can you be there? And she hasn't answered for more than 10 days. Oh. Now, with nothing to lose, I was thinking of sending a text to say something like, understand if you're too nervous to go on a second date with me. You just want to get cussed out, don't you? Something kind of provocative, but that banters with her at the same time. What do you think? Or if you have any other suggestions, feel free to tell me. My suggestion is that you block her number and go on with your life. Now, you send somebody, you trying to be slick and trying to taunt her into responding to you by saying, well, if you're too nervous, so that she can call you back and say, I'm not too nervous. That's what you want. You want her attention. And you're trying these little kitty games. Like, you're too nervous. She's not too nervous to go on a second date with you. She's not interested in going on a second date with you. Has nothing to do with being nervous. I mean, she probably enjoyed it while she was there, I guess. But now she thought about it. Now she don't want, or maybe she met somebody that she likes better. Whatever is the case, she hasn't responded in almost 2 weeks. That means she's not going to respond. She's waiting for you to get a fucking clue. That means don't you text her, don't you call her, don't you send her a paper airplane, a carrier pigeon, a smoke signal, a kite, nothing. Okay, it's over. Move on, homie. Move on. I'm like, 10 days? And you want to text her. First of all, even if you were gonna reach out, you should have done it way before the 10 days, and it should be by phone, not by text. Y'all kill me with these damn texts. These little boys and these texts. Question number 7. This is a female in the 28 to 34 age group from Oakland, California. Summary of issue. My clown ass boy. Okay. My clown ass boyfriend made a joke sexualizing my son, and I immediately blocked him without hesitation. Good job. Okay. This sounds like some dusty shit about to happen here. Yesterday, my boyfriend of 4 months and I were having a phone conversation about my 7-year-old son. My son started school a few days ago and started, quote, dating one of the girls in his class. Apparently, she has been pressuring him to only play with him at recess and isolating him from his friends. I'm already on the fence about him, quote, dating at such a young age, but I know it's just a school crush more than anything, but I wanted advice from a male perspective. I told my boyfriend about it in the hopes that he would have some good advice for me to share with my son. After explaining the situation, he tells me that my son should basically, okay, here we go, should basically put his girlfriend in her place and set boundaries. Then he proceeds to say by doing so, she would tell her mom, super random, about the situation, and her mom would be turned on. And then he starts describing how turned on the mom would be. That was bad enough. And you still listening? Then he proceeds to ask me how I would feel if I came home and my son was okay to a grown woman, a 7-year-old. He starts laughing and begins to go on a tangent again and proceeds to go into detail about that. Okay. So he was having like his whole fantasy about your son and the little girl's mother. And he's telling you this. Okay. And you didn't cuss him out. I'm just really, Deb, I could hear you in my head going off. You right. I immediately shut him down. I told him what he said was predatory and inappropriate, and he apologized right away. I then said I would never talk about a child like that, and it made me uncomfortable knowing that you do. Before he responded, I hung up and I blocked him on all platforms. Did I overreact? Hell no. To me, you underreacted. He is a crude character, but I've had no other red flags about him in that manner when it comes to my kids, and he has been around them a few times already prior to this incident. But I have to admit, this has completely turned me off from the idea of dating altogether and even introducing them to anyone. My son is no longer friends with that girl and cut everything off the day I was drafting this letter to you. I'm aware that some people don't condone the idea of a child having crushes or fake dating, but it's quite innocent at his age, and kids are fickle with that kind of stuff. I want you to wake the fuck up. Okay, it's nice that you heard part of that, but okay, the main part about this shit that bothers me is not innocent when that little girl is already adopting a controlling and abusive mindset towards your child, and you did not run interference. Did you not catch that? She's trying to isolate him so that he can't play with his other friends. That, to me, is the biggest red flag here. I mean, the boyfriend stuff was red flag. But the main person who's involved in this is the little boy and the little girl, and she has red flags. Where would she learn such behavior from if not at home? Something in her household was modeled to be that way, where she thinks that she's supposed to control what somebody does, who they're friends with, and all this stuff, and how, where they can go when she wants to be looking at them. She wants to control somebody at 7 or 8 years old. That little girl has issues, and you should immediately went to the school and squelched all of that shit and tell that little girl that your son is gonna play with whoever he wants to, and that's just the way it's gonna be. That's what you were supposed to do. Okay, then let's circle back to this boy, this raggedy ass. You write clown ass. You call him clown ass. I could think of a few other choice words to call him. He's like on this whole fantasy about your child and this little girl's mother. I mean, straight freak shit. And he's sitting there telling you all of this. I'm sitting here wondering why you listened. Why, as soon as he got into that thing about, the mom being turned on and stuff, and when he started describing it, you're supposed to say, whoa, 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 shut up, motherfucker. Just shut the fuck up right now. Don't even go down this road. I'm not trying to hear this. You nasty dog. What kind of freak pervert are you? You know what? I'm going to hang up now, and whatever we had going on is over. Don't you ever call me again, and I'm going to make sure you don't, because I'm going to block your fucking ass. And then that's what you were supposed to tell him. You weren't supposed to listen to all of this and let him go through this whole thing and go and, to the culmination of where your child is involved in some adult activity with a grown woman. You listen to that shit? See, that's... Girl, I mean, you got part of it right, so I don't want to ream you too hard, because in the end, you did do what you're supposed to do. But I'm telling you, your boundaries are not strong enough. Please work on those, especially when it concerns your child. When it comes to kids, I just lose my mind. And he's only 7. He's a baby. You have to be diligent to protect him from other kids, especially older kids. So you need to get in his ear right now. The fact that he went along with her trying to tell him what to do and stuff is scary to me. Because with some older pervert boys come along trying to tell him what to do, he's going to do it because he's already in the mindset where it's okay because mommy never told me not to. Mommy, get your shit together, okay? Get your shit together. Sit down with your son and have some conversations. I'm serious right now. This is some bullshit. That shit would have never went down like that. He was supposed to have the tools and you were supposed to provide them to him so that if she started that stuff, he would tell her, no, I'm going to play with who I want to play with. And now we're broken up. That's what he was supposed to tell her. And you need to teach him to say stuff like that. And those of you with daughters, same thing. You teach your kids, you have to give them the words. They don't know. They're babies. It's your job as the parent to teach them how to handle themselves in all these crazy situations that are coming up in society that I never had to deal with as a child. People trying to promote, the first thing we had to deal with was somebody, who's cussing in the chat? Somebody, you don't cuss. I'm the only one that could cuss. The people, we never had to deal with stuff like people trying to recruit you to become trans and all this old stuff here. We never had to deal with all of that. But the worst thing that we had to deal with, maybe somebody trying to recruit your brothers to be in a gang or something. Maybe somebody got jumped, something like that. But, people wasn't even shooting nobody yet. I mean, all that started, in the 90s and late 80s and stuff. But it's like, I don't know. It's just you. It's parenting. Parenting is very demanding. You need to get your shit together. That's all I'm gonna tell you. You just, leaving your kid out there talking about this innocent and it's a crush and all those kind of shit here. And that means you got your head up your ass and you're not looking at this realistically. Okay, that little girl is a controlling, abusive little fool, and she's getting your son in the mindset where he's gonna do what some woman tells him because that's supposed to be his girlfriend. No, he's supposed to learn boundaries and he's supposed to stand up for himself under any and all circumstances, and that's what you need to teach him. At first, you need to do a better job of your damn self. Shit, this is some bullshit. Y'all, my God. Question number 8. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Ottawa, Canada. Summary of issue. Ooh, that letter got me sweating. I'm sweating. I'm so mad. Diana's showing up all late. I am so pissed at her right now. I just broke out and my neck is sweaty. Oh my God. Okay, she's from Ottawa. She summary of issue. Am I being cruel for not wanting to date someone who didn't go to college? I went on a first date with someone from a swipey thing. My go-to aspects of a profile outside of what they look like on the pictures are political views, athletic, and not having children. I usually look to see if they have a job also and what that job is. I went on a first date with someone who aligned well with what I quickly review on the profile, but when we were out on a date, I asked him a question about college, and he said he didn't go to college. I brushed it off and I had a good time. The date wasn't extraordinary, but not bad at all. I'm just held up on that factor to convincing myself that the deal breaker has to be the college part. I have a master's degree in the field that I work in. I don't expect me and I date to have a master's degree. My best friends think I have a basis of what I have a bias, of what, quote, education looks like. And I think I can expand that and look for education in someone outside of just a diploma. What do you think, though, Deb? Absolutely. Because, sometimes when you look at people and all they have is the education, they're what we call an educated fool. They can recite stuff, they memorize stuff, but they can't think their way out of a paper bag with both ends open, have not an original thought in their head. Everything that you're going to hear from them is something that they parroted. Somebody told them, the professor, they read it in a book, something like that. But there's nothing, they are incapable of taking all that material, analyzing it, and then spitting it out into a unique perspective. They can't do that because they lack the intellect, the intelligence. Someone with innate intelligence is going to be smart, they're going to be creative, and they're going to run circles around you with your master's degree because innate intelligence trumps education every time. Somebody with innate intelligence can pick up a book. You studied the shit for 4 years. They can pick up a couple of books and know as much about it as you do. Those kind of people are actually scary because, if they use their knowledge and abilities for good, then it's all good. And if they decide to use it for evil, it's awful. It's an awful thing. So I'm telling you, don't eliminate people just because they don't have a piece of paper. That has no regard at all for what they know or how they live their life, what kind of fun or excitement they bring to your world, what kind of conversations that they can hold, what kind of books they've read. Sometimes people, when they graduate from college, they haven't read a book since because they don't want to. They're like, oh, I had enough of that in school. I'm not trying to do all of that. I just want to have fun now. So, I need you to go back and rethink this. If the guys that you are looking at meet your other perspectives, to have a conversation with them. Because even, like I said, even people who are, they got good grades in school and stuff, you talk to them and you find that they're an idiot. So education does not equate to intelligence. It just means that you read some books and you memorized some shit and you took some tests and you passed them. That's all that means. That's why I never went back to school, because I was not impressed with the whole process. So I saw too many people, they cram and they memorize shit, they focus on the grade. They want the grade, they want to pass. But, you ask them, well, what do you think about this concept here? And what about, if you look at it from this angle, this and that, don't have any conversation. Well, that wasn't in the book, they say. Well, the professor didn't say that, they say. They regurgitate what the book said or what the professor said. So that's how I know what I'm saying. And we see evidence of it in this column all the time. So you need to rethink that, okay? I wouldn't say that what, is a cruel. I think that you're cutting yourself short and you're missing out on a lot of really nice guys that could bring a lot to your world by focusing on one thing. I mean, I know that, it's important, but, if just look into it. I mean, you may ultimately decide that that is the way that you want to go, but at least try another perspective, okay, before you write that in stone. Question number 9. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Bolton, Greater Manchester in the UK. God, all the letters are from the UK today. Summary of issues. The guy I'm dating used the dating app while staying the night. Okay. Are you sure you dating? You may be using that term rather loosely. So I'm 25 and I'm dating this 22. Okay. 22-year-old men are whores. Okay, there's just no doubt about it. You putting your stock in somebody who's 22 years old and thinking you're going to have a committed relationship, you tripping. We have wonderful conversations, great chemistry, and since our second date, also amazing nook. Well, yesterday was our third date, and it was even better. Today, I had to bring him back, and here are a few points that bothered me. After the second date, I noticed he updated his dating profile not even 2 hours after dropping him off after he stayed the night, and we had nook for the first time. Okay, so you knew that, and then you had the second date with him, and you did nook again? What kind of fool are you? Okay, then throughout the week, he would be on the app. I felt that's fine because it was only the second date, but it still hurt that he felt like updating his profile not even 2 hours later. I could say something crude, but I'm going to shut up. During our third date, when he stayed over, he even went on the app as I saw that his location changed to my location. And while bringing him back, I think, though I'm not sure, he even responded to someone on the app. I'm not one to focus on more guys while dating, so as I literally cannot date multiple people. Yes, you can. You just don't want to. That's why this kind of hurt me, and I feel like what's best, oh my God, this poor child. It's best to tell him that I kind of wanted to at the end of the ride before he left, but I was not able to. Now I'm thinking to send him this message later in the evening, telling him I cannot focus on dating more than one guy at a time, and I hate feeling like an option. So perhaps whether we should date exclusively, or is it too soon after 3 dates? I really need advice because I'm feeling like shit, and I think I really caught feelings for him. You've caught feelings for nothing. You caught feelings for like a goldfish. First of all, is he broke? He don't got no car? So you got to drive his ass around like Miss Daisy? So you go and pick up the D, bring the D to your house, screw the D, and then you go drive the D back home. Where they do that at? Why would you think that you should invest emotions in a guy that is like a carpetbagger? Hither and yon, women just chauffeur them around and, sleeping with them. First of all, you're 25. There's no way in this world you should be messing with somebody who's only 22 years old. Like I said, 22-year-old men are whores. I've never met one that's not. So I don't understand all this, this angst about it. And how you think he got so good at nook? You know how he got good at nook? Because he's had a lot of practice. He's had a lot of practice with women doing like you do, driving to his house, picking them up and taking them to their house to have a nook. Then they take them back home. So they call somebody else. He has to go have nook with them too. That's how he got really good at this whole thing. Now, you want to approach this man and talk about being exclusive? You want a 22-year-old hoe bag to be your man who don't have a car, not really showing too much interest in you other than sleeping with you. I'm trying to figure out what it is that you're thinking that you would want to. Why would you want to make this like a boyfriend-girlfriend situation? Because he got your nose open? Because he turned you out in the sheets? That's it? That's what you basing this on? Girl, let me just tell you. Let me just be blunt. At my age, you know how many wonderful, it's like, okay, you started 25. Yeah, this was some amazing stuff. Okay, then you meet somebody else. And then, I married that one now. So I'm like, okay, we're going to keep this for a minute. But, it was mutual. We both wanted to keep each other. So, that was good. Okay, well, then after that ended. So then I'm back out there, right? So I'm like, okay, well, I got a good basis for comparison. Let me go see what else is going on out here. Some were good, some were bad. But the ones that were really good, it's like as you get older, they get better because, of course, they're older and they have more skills, right? So they're putting it down, and it's like, so you meet one, he's like, oh, you going like, oh my God, where you been all my life? And then you meet the next one, it's like, oh, Jesus, I feel like I've died and I've gone to heaven. And then the next one is even better than that. And you know what I mean? So it just gets better and better and better. There's no need to stop at 25. Unless you meet somebody that well, I said it has to be mutual, where you both want it to be with each other, like exclusively. You should never have to ask like that and suggest it. It's going to come up because he's going to be, trying to like occupy. It's like a natural progression because he want to make sure any single time that you got free, he going to be in your face. So nobody else is going to have time to date you. So it's going to be like a natural progression towards being exclusive because he's done pretty much like cock-blocked everybody else. And so then he's going to be, well, I want you to be my woman, or however they say it these days. And then you're going to be like, well, that's pretty much already happening. And he's going to be like, I know, because that's what I'm not trying to mess around. I'm not trying to play. I'm serious about this. I be like, okay, so then that's how you get into those kind of situations. You should never have to go chase a man like this. This is not the natural progression of things. That's not how it goes. If you got to go chase him and ask him, well, where are we? What is this going? What is this? And what does this mean? And where are we? What are we? And where's this going? And all that kind of stuff. You got to ask all that question. It ain't going nowhere down the toilet, and it ain't about shit. Okay, let me just be blunt. Men speak with action. I keep telling you girls that. Men speak with action. What is he doing? Is he in your face all the time? Is he on the phone all the time? Is he trying to squeeze in every minute when he can just lay his eyes on you and smell your hair and kiss on you? What is his behavior like? If he's not doing those things, if he's not just totally trying to drown in your essence, catch up with you all the time, be with you, grinning, having you with him when he go visit his mama, his grandmother, and all his friends, and hanging around looking at you all the time. If he's not doing those kinds of things, then he doesn't want you like that. Don't push yourself on a man. Don't ever do that. You'll be very disappointed, sad, and brokenhearted. Be with the man who wants to be with you. It's not hard. I don't think it's funny. I'm being serious. I'm trying to figure. I think she just broke down she just caught up in the nook. But I'm just like, yeah. No, they had 3 dates. She slept with him on the second date. Then they had one more date where he spent the night. So it's 3 dates total. And then, but see, the thing about it is, okay, he spent the night. Even when he spent the night, he was on the app, changing his location and updating his profile. There's nothing here for this girl. I don't know what she's thinking. So hopefully I provided enough explanation so she can make a better choice in the future. Question number 10. This is a female in the 28 to 34 age group from Durham, North Carolina. Summary of issue. How do I tell my CF? Child free. Okay, that must be child free. Best friend of 10 plus years that I am pregnant. I have a friend, we're both 31, who's divorcing her husband of 8 years over many things. One big one being that he very much wants children and a traditional life, and she 1,000% does not. They didn't know that before they got married. She does not want children and generally does not like children. I have been a fence sitter for a very long time, so we have always had somewhat open conversation about children until recently when I knew that she was having trouble in their relationship, as that has rightfully occupied a lot of our conversation. Oh, yeah. Okay. She's moving back home where I and her family currently live in September to start over, and I know I will have to tell her eventually. It feels really shitty to tell someone how happy and excited I am about my future and life when I know they're going through something awful. Thoughts? I am very early in the pregnancy and will be waiting until September, the end of the first trimester, to share this news with friends, but was thinking of just texting her. No, you're not going to do that. I just don't know what to say, and I'm scared this will impact our friendship. So fucking what? Okay, let me explain something to you. Your life is going to go on whether this bitch gets a divorce and don't want to have kids, don't want to have a dog, a gerbil, a bird, nothing. Nothing about your choices impact yours. Nothing about what's going on in her life has any impact on yours. Are you clear? You and her are not Siamese twins joined at the hip or the head or any other part. She's gonna be living her life. She made her choices. You living your life and you're making yours. So what you're gonna do is a grown woman, and I would recommend that you do it this way: have some kind of little party at your house. Don't call it a shower, just some little get together or something. It's summertime, barbecue, whatever you want to do. And then at that event, you're going to announce your pregnancy. It's going to be done to everyone at the same time. And people are going to say, oh, congratulations to that. Now, why do you want to do it that way? Because you don't want to single her out to make it look like if you send her a text, that's what it would look like. You're bragging. You're trying to rub it in her face. You don't want to do that. You want to make a general announcement to everyone at the same time. Nobody's being singled out. Nobody's being treated differently. Everybody's going to get the news at the same time. If she don't like it, she can get in her car and ride off into the sunset. Right? Never speak to you again. Is it going to change your life? Hell no. That's why I want you to do it this way. Okay? You're not going to text nobody. Stop with the fucking text, you guys, with these damn texts. Everybody want to text everything. Some conversations are so important, they should never be texted. And y'all young people with these fucking texts want to text every goddamn thing. It drives me crazy. Use the phone for the purpose this was meant for, which is to call people. Okay? Be an adult sometimes. Use your fucking words. That WID and all that old stupid stuff. They be texting stupid stuff. This is an important life. This is a life-changing thing that you're doing here. It does not need to be shared by a fucking text. This is something that it's gonna change you and your husband's lives forever, as well as your parents and everybody else in your family. Because now they're gonna have a niece or nephew. Your parents are gonna have a grandchild, and you're gonna be a parent. All of your lives are changing. It's irrevocable change with this announcement. It is too important to do than you to do it by a text. That is just fucking rude and insensitive, and that would be cruel, okay? So don't do her like that. Get it together. Stop thinking everything need to be texted to everybody. Yeah, she can not want kids, and she can get a divorce, and she can do whatever the hell she want to do. They don't have shit to do with you. It's not your red wagon. Leave it alone. And stop being so sensitive with other people. Scared like it's going to impact our friendship. So fucking what? She's been in another state and all this stuff. You haven't been seeing her all this time. You'll be fine. Question number 11. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Arlington, Texas. The male, same age group. Some have issue. My boyfriend wants me to wait 7 years to become engaged. Should I trust him to come through? Hell no. Where they do that at? In your age group, for real? I do not know what to think about my situation. I started dating my boyfriend. We're now both 27. 2 years ago, and we agreed at the beginning that we were both looking for 2 years of dating, followed by 1 year of living together. After that, to total 3 years before getting engaged. Wow, you done mapped it out. I never heard of that. We are in the 2-year mark and discussed moving in together. He even spoke about it publicly to his friends and family when we were at gatherings. After we went on our first apartment tour, he disclosed that he was not ready to move in together because he thought that meant marriage was expected. I didn't know how to take this, but reassured him that moving in together meant figuring out if we were compatible before deciding if we want to get married. He is now on board with moving in together, but I am hesitant. When discussing moving in together, he also said that the only reason he would ever consider it is to avoid losing me, not because he really wants to. He lives with his mom now. He pays for most of the dates since I have rent and he doesn't, and can't rationalize paying rent when he has a rent-free option. He thought I was insane for suggesting an income-based rent payment percentage, even though he makes more than double what I do in income. We spoke about marriage, and he informed me that he is not under any circumstances willing to be engaged before the age of 32, which is 5 years from now. That would be 7 years total dating. We have spoken about this before, and I genuinely thought he was either joking, he has a habit of joking about these things, or had some desire to compromise. His reasonings are twofold. This dude is full of shit. Number one, he wants to figure out if he wants kids, and number two, he wants to be more established in his career and self to know if his core beliefs change. He's blowing smoke up your ass. My heart is breaking because I have been abundantly clear with him on what I want, and I'm terrified that I'm being set up here. I trust him, but at the end of the day, 7 years seems extreme. We have discussed at length how women and men have different timelines, but beyond that, I don't want to be with someone who doesn't want me as much. Please give me any advice on this situation. I'm definitely open to couples therapy if that could help. My main question is, do I trust him and is it worth the wait? Nope and nope. First of all, he's telling you right now, he has to figure out if he wants kids. So so you wait another till he's 32 and he figures out that he doesn't want kids. Now what? You have wasted 7 years of your life with a man who's doesn't want to get married and doesn't want to have the children that your heart wants. I'm telling you, cut bait right now. Tell him, thank him for his honesty, that you can stop looking for apartments, stay where you are, and you're gonna break up with him and find someone else. That's what you're gonna do. Because the only reason he wants the convenience of having you around. I already told you, girls, your girlfriend ain't nothing but free ass. I don't know why y'all be putting so much stock on. That's my boyfriend. That's my girlfriend. A girlfriend is nothing but free booty. Free booty. As you see, he's just saying shit to keep you on the string, to keep giving him what? The nook. That's all he wants. And you would be wasting all your life, all your youth, all your youthful beauty, and all your fertility on a man who's going to tell you at 32, well, I decided I don't really want kids. And then you're going to break up, but by then you'll be in your 30s. You would have wasted your entire 20s on this fool. Girl, dump this idiot. Dump this idiot and move on. Okay? Get you a guy who's slightly older. So, dudes want to make this decision at 32, then you're going to find you a 32-year-old. You're 27. Did she say she was 27? You're 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Yeah, that's good. Get you a 32-year-old dude, and then he'll be ready to have kids and be married, and then you'll get married and then have kids, and you'll be fine. Right? One monkey not going to stop no show. Make sure he understands that. You can quote me. Question number 12. This is a female in the 18 to 21 age group from Tampa, Florida. Summary of issue. An older guy got offended when I said that I would be fine signing a prenup. Oh, let me have some water on this. My throat is getting dry from all this bullshit these people are talking. Okay, so there's a dude from one of my classes at university who told me that he's interested in dating me. He is 36 and I'm 21. Absolutely not. Oh, grandpa. He asked me a bunch of questions and we seem very compatible on paper, besides him wanting like 6 kids and he doesn't want his wife to work. You know what? He's been listening to them little girls on YouTube. Them, what they call them? Them, femininity channels where they saying you should have a man take care of you. He's been listening to that, so that's his game. I already decided that we are incompatible, in case you were wondering. Yes, I was wondering. Thank you for clarity. One of the questions was whether or not I would be okay signing a prenup. I said, sure. I have nothing against prenups and would be fine signing one. He got really surprised. You threw a left curve in his game. And said that most women wouldn't want to sign a prenup. To which I replied that I intend on working in a very lucrative field, engineering, and I need to protect my own assets as well. A prenup would benefit me in case a lower earning spouse came after something I paid for. For some reason, he got really offended by this. I don't get why. I literally am willing to sign a prenup without making a big deal out of it or even giving it much thought. I'm hella chill about it. He told me that I was being a bit arrogant and selfish by assuming that I would be making way more than my spouse, even though I never made any such assumption. The reality is that my major will give me good opportunities in the field I intend on going into, aerospace engineering. Oh, hell yeah. And I'm not making any assumptions on what my partner will be earning. I'm just playing it safe for the both of us. So, yeah, I don't know why I got called arrogant for literally doing what's in the best interest of both people. Also, I was raised by a single mom who taught me to be very self-reliant and only bringing a child into this world if I am fully capable of providing said child with a good life, which in today's economy means both people are working. What's your take on the situation? I think you ran into a Dusty and you were just too smart for him. You was like, what? And you fought his game and he didn't know what to do. You just, dipped and dodged your way out of that situation. He was just like stunned because he was looking for you to be one of these little young, dumb femininity channel chicks where, looking for a man to take care of you and you don't want to work and, you have kids and just be a stay-at-home mom. That's what the game he was running, to see if you bit so he could tap that 21-year-old ass. That's what he was trying to do with his 36-year-old ancient self. but you dodged it, and you were just too real for him. He couldn't handle it because he knows, you in college trying to make something of yourself. Of course, you're going to be successful, and his old ass would be trying to, be all attached to you, so he'd have somebody to take care of him when he, breaks down at 50. And so say, oh no, we're gonna have a prenup, so you're not gonna get nothing from me, even if you are broken down and I decide to leave you. You're just gonna be living in a pup tent. I don't know what to tell you, but I'm not gonna be taking care of you. So he just saw his fantasies go up in smoke. His ability to control you went up in smoke. You think too independently. You're not a groupthink person. And you already got your mind is strong and you are determined. Oh yeah, all kinds of stuff was going on to let him know that you're not gonna be the one. You're not gonna be. But in the future, if you some guy, you 21, if a man over 25 tries to holler at you, I want you to shut that shit down. Say, look, you old enough to be my daddy. Get out of here. He's gonna be like, no, I'm not. I say, well, I think you are, and so no, don't even talk to me. It's like you're like a child molester or something. Get away from me. Because 18, 19, 20, 20. Yeah, I mean that's close enough. I just don't understand it. Yeah, yeah, that's unfortunate, Ken's MB. Um, I mean, that used to be how it is, like in the wealthy families and stuff. The girls only went to college. They had no intention of having a job or a career. They only went because that was a place to find a husband that was, a mover and a shaker and who's going to go places and stuff. That used to be the trend, but that was amongst white people, not amongst black folks. So, I mean, it might still apply, but I don't know because, Candace didn't put what the nationality was in this column. I guess we were just so pressed for time with our birthday partying. We didn't have, she got the calendar together, but it's the like condensed version. Okay, let's move on from that. The grandpa rating the colleges for people. Question number 13. This is a male in the 18 to 21 age group. The female is 22 to 27. Summary of issue. My girlfriend refuses to shower more than twice a week. Okay, why is it we've been getting so many letters lately about nasty people that don't want to bathe? I'll never forget that was last year. I'll still remember that. The dude would pick his clothes up off the floor and spray himself and the clothes with Febreze and put them on and just go on with his life like nothing happened for a week or more. I never forget that. I was just so grossed out. So he says, my girlfriend showers maybe 2 times a week. It grosses me out. He said maybe 2 times a week. It grosses me out, and I don't know how to approach it. You tell her, look, you nasty bitch, I'm not being your boyfriend no more. You have cooties. It's like, just I can just imagine shit crawling on you and getting on me. Ew, get away from me. I shower every day before work. I have a whole routine and prioritize taking care of myself and my health. My girlfriend refuses to shower more than she already does and says she just doesn't like to do it. I've tried to approach her about it before, but she just keeps saying she doesn't like to shower and she doesn't like the water feeling. Was she on the spectrum or something? I've tried to propose alternate ways of staying clean, but she just refuses altogether. It really starting to bother me, and I guess I'm just looking for advice on what to do. I already told you. She will literally laugh at how long it's been since she last showered, even if it's been a week. This girl, this girl has issues. She doesn't seem to understand how gross it is and immediately gets defensive anytime I try to address it, no matter how gently. What can I do to try to get her to understand where I'm coming from? How do I get her to consider changing this? I am 18 and she is 22, by the way. You're only 18 and she's 22 and she's acting like this? Sir, I'm just going to tell you this. It sounds like she's on the spectrum and she's got, like people who have some autism will often have sensory issues, like certain textures of food. They can't stand certain sounds. They can't stand certain feelings on their skin. And that's probably what is going on with her. And her sensory issue is concerning that water beating on you feeling. Most people like that because it's relaxing. But, for her, I guess it's not. All I can tell you is this, if you look into your future, what you're going to see is bed bugs and lice. So what would I suggest? Get rid of her. She's probably already flea-ridden and bacteria laden and all kind of stuff, and you want to be sleeping with her and stuff. You gross too. I suggest you rethink this relationship. I mean, how you gonna be trying to bring her around your family and stuff, and the bitch smells, especially like she's on her cycle and stuff. You know what I mean? And she's not even bathing. He says he's brought up alternate things that she doesn't want to do it. He said that. Exactly. See, Candy Cane, that's what I'm saying. You know that's not really cool. Yeah, she foul and funky. I can't even imagine. He's got a my nose is too sensitive for that kind of stuff. I don't even like it like when I come from the gym, you gotta be clean. But sometimes our workouts are really hard. And so we be sweating. And I like to use that natural deodorant. Well, that stuff, you got to put it on like at least twice a day. And then sometimes, it's real hot and the deodorant starts to fail. And so, I have these wipe things and then I carry a tube of it. So you have to put it back on and all that stuff to avoid, killing people with the funk. I mean, I might kill myself. Gym funk is just different from just regular sweat. So I'm just like, this is terrible. This could be an awful thing. And I could just imagine her. And then if she's going to bed like that, the sheets is just jacked up. All around, this just sounds nasty. Question number 14. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from London, England. The male's 28 to 34. Summary of issue. I rejected my boyfriend's proposal. Ooh. I'm 22. I've been with my 32-year-old boyfriend for 2 years. He's too old for you. Aside from his great qualities, he's controlling. We've talked about marriage, and I told him I need at least 2 more years. I don't want to be married right now. I want to spend a few years with him before we take that big step. He's always expressed how he can't wait to marry me and wants to build a family together. I'm Jamaican/Italian, and he is Saudi Arabian. The culture, of course, has an influence on his decision to want to be married. He told me plenty of times he sees no point in waiting if we both want marriage. Well, guess what? He proposed 3 days ago while we were on holiday in Greece. I wasn't expecting it. He planned it so well, and it was beautiful. But I said no. He thought I was joking at first because with me, when I'm angry, sad, and happy and nervous, I laugh. So he wasn't exactly sure which emotion caused me to laugh. I laughed because I was shocked and nervous. Nervous because I was about to say no, and shocked because I wasn't expecting it. I kept saying no, and he realized I was serious. He got up from his one knee and asked me why. I explained why, then he got angry. I mean, really angry. He started speaking his language, which he knows I hate, because obviously I don't understand it. And I asked him to speak English, and he said, I'm ungrateful. He took so much time to plan this, give me a wonderful life, and I rejected him. I apologized, and he walked away and he kicked the decorations. He kept shouting in his language and got real close to me. There was no physical altercation. He's never spoken in Arabic while angry in the past, so I was shocked and I felt insulted. He booked us an early flight home, but I didn't want to leave. I want to explore Greece more, but under these circumstances, it would have been hella awkward to stay. He's been so angry. I can't even talk to him. Every time I talk, he says, don't. I feel so bad. Maybe I should have said yes. No, you shouldn't have said yes. That's why he asked you in a situation like that. He was trying to pressure you and coerce you into saying yes. Don't you understand what happened? You clearly said, we talked about marriage. I told him I need at least 2 more years. I don't want to be married right now. I want to spend a few years with him before we take that step. Okay, you told him all of that. But he ignored all that because he's like, I'm not trying to hear that. I want to be married to you, and so I'm going to propose, and you're going to say yes because look at all this effort I put in. And now you're being selfish and cruel because I put in all this effort in to ask you to marry me, even though you said you didn't want to be married for 2 years and you wanted to be, wait and blah, blah, blah. All that. But look at all this effort I put in. You see what I mean? So don't fall for the game. If he wants to act stupid, let him. Get out of the house. If you guys live together, pack your shit and go somewhere. And leave him there to stew in his own juices. His little control freak shit didn't work, and so that's why he's mad. I wouldn't give a damn. I'd be like, let me pack my shit and get out of here. Since you don't seem like you could understand shit when somebody says shit to what I have to have said it to you in Arabic for you to understand what no means. I don't know how to say no in Arabic. I'm sure somebody here does. But, what's she supposed to do? Make sure he understands the no and all the other stuff she said. So I wouldn't be too bothered about it. Just let him be mad. Question number 15. This is a female in the 28 to 34 age group. And then there's another male and a female involved who are also in the 28 to 34 age group. Oh. Summary of issue. My best friend has invited her boyfriend, who I don't like, to stay at my house. My friend asked me a while ago if her and her kid he's a 2-year-old, can come and stay at my house for a few nights if she wants to get away from the city for a bit. We live in different states. I told her at that time that if it was just her and the kid and not the boyfriend, then they could come. For context, I don't like that boyfriend because of how he treats her. He's broken her heart, treated her like shit, and I don't think he is a good person. Until about a year ago, I tolerated him, but he went too far, and last time I saw him, we had an argument. I had a feeling my friend would invite him, which is why I made it specifically clear when I said yes, that it was only okay if it was just her and him and the kid. But a week before their visit, she tells me that her boyfriend is coming too and asks if that's okay. She has already booked her flights, which are expensive, and my city has 0 available accommodations when she is visiting. On the one hand, I'm really pissed at her for pulling this and putting me in this position. On the other, he is the father of their child and will probably be around for a long time, and I don't want to make it awkward forever by saying he can't stay. How do I navigate this? By sticking to your fucking guns. You told her that she could come if it was her and the kid, and that's what you stick to. You say, what part of you can come if it's just you and the kid did you not get? I mean, I'm not saying y'all can't come to the city, but I'm telling you now, you ain't staying here. You know, you bought tickets, find a place to stay, and you can do it. Or you better come up with a reason why you can cash some tickets in, because that motherfucker's not coming to my house. I have spoken, and that's it. And you trying to play this little trick and stuff, you not staying here either. And don't ask me anymore. That's what she would get out of me. Be trying to play me like that, thinking, well, since you bought the ticket, now I'm gonna change my mind. I don't want to look at that motherfucker. That motherfucker's not using not one drop of water in my house or burning not one light. He's not eating none of my food, and he's not walking on my carpet. He's not sleeping in my bed with his ashy, dusty ass. None of that's happening. So you figure it out. So I strongly suggest you stick to your boundaries and remind her what you said and saying, I haven't changed my mind. So don't come here. If you decide to come, don't come here. You're not coming to my house. Neither one of you now, because you tried this little stunt. So no, you're not coming. Neither is he. Neither is the kid. So y'all figure that out, and then I would hang up my phone and block her. Because when somebody tries to violate your boundaries like this and try to play you like that, that's not a friend. I want you to understand this. Friends respect each other. If someone who's your friend would have told the boyfriend he wanted to come, say, no, you can't come. It's just going to be me and the kid. That's what she wants, and it's her house. So you just have to eat it. If we'll be gone a couple of days. We'll be back. That's how friends treat each other. There's respect. This is not, she didn't, I'm sure the boyfriend pressured her into it, but if she had a spine, she would just say, no, you're not coming. And that's just the way it is. Instead, she went and bought him a ticket. Like they're going to just make you let him come. Don't let them do this to you. Question number 16. This is a female in the 18 to 21 age group from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Summary of issue. My boyfriend thinks a trip with my sibling is inappropriate. I'm 19. And I recently went on a trip with my 18-year-old brother to celebrate him being out of jail for a year. What? He has massively changed and is doing way better in life, and thought that we should go to California for a trip for a week and a half. We just got back from the trip a couple of days ago, and my boyfriend made a comment that a week and a half vacation is inappropriate to do with my brother. The place we stayed in had 2 bedrooms and 2 private baths, so we weren't sleeping in the same bed or even using the same bathroom. The thing is, he knows we are adopted and we have been siblings since we were babies. I would never, ever think to do anything like that with my brother, and I'm sure it is vice versa with him. It made me angry because it was just disgusting that he implied that. Was this trip inappropriate in your eyes? I admit I might be in the wrong. No, you're not in the wrong. What you have is a crazy boyfriend, though. You have a boyfriend problem. You don't have a brother problem, and the problem is also not you. I'm going to say this. I don't know how you feel about this boyfriend, but see, to me, when men's minds go like that, they start singling people out to like try to accuse you of being with and cheating on them with and being inappropriate with and flirting with and stuff like that, that is a rabbit hole. That's a rabbit hole. And he dug it right. The hole is now open. What I like to do is shut shit down immediately as soon as they get started. So for me, that one comment would be enough for me to end the relationship. I don't play that shit. But like I said, see, I'm much older. So when you get older, you have old woman vision, and you can see that this little bullshit right here is gonna expand into a massive avalanche of bullshit if I let this continue. So we shut it down. It shut down. So he would have said that, I think it's inappropriate. And I would have said, no, what's inappropriate is your perverted mind. That's what's inappropriate. So, one thing I don't want to do is waste my time with somebody who's stupid. So motherfucker, this shit, whatever this shit is right here, this is my favorite line. This one I used to use myself. Motherfucker, whatever this shit was that we had right here, this shit is over. Okay, you can quote me. How many times have I said it? Probably about 200 times. Because it's like, from one date to 5, 10, whatever, whatever number of dates, motherfucker, is always how it begins. And this shit right here is over, is always the end. And that, depending on what happened, the middle could, be slightly adjusted. But that's the crux of it right there. And I've used that one line, I can't even tell you how many hundreds of times, to shut shit down and get back people up out of my life. I don't want to be bothered with you. Whatever this bullshit is that you on, you're going to be going to by yourself. Don't bring it here. I don't want to be bothered. I'm telling Mary Elizabeth's laughing. I'm telling you, how many times, if you guys go through these videos, you will see I say that line, because that's my line. I don't never use their name. Each one of them is a motherfucker as far as I'm concerned. And it's like, bye with that. Later with that nonsense. But yeah, I'm just telling you that, girl, because you're young and you may not understand what this really means. That's why I'm trying to explain it to you. This is a rabbit hole that he has now opened up for him to condemn your relationship with this brother over and over. And then it's going to expand to include any other men that you have a relationship with. So be very cognizant of what I'm saying. If he says anything again, reflect on these words, and you'll see that this is now a pattern. And unless you want to be dealing with this shit for the rest of your life, if you decide to marry him or whatever, then I suggest you get rid of him now, so you can live, make your own choices and not be guilt tripped for caring about the people that you care about just because he's insecure and controlling. Okay. So think about that. Question number 17. We got 23 questions tonight, so we're nearing the end of What the Fuck Wednesday. It was making a special appearance on Thursday due to the fact that I had birthday hangover issues. So what can I say? Question 17. She's 22 to 27 from Nashville, Tennessee. Suburb issue. He says he's interested, however. I met a guy on a dating app. Well, now that's problem number one. 3 months ago, and we've been talking since then. The problem is that he's been studying for the MCAT, and when we started talking, he hasn't had time to text a lot or go out. We only text, and it'll be a bunch of long messages at once, and then no response for a day or two. I asked him if this is how it's going anywhere, and he explained how the exam is his focus right now, but that he likes me and wants to take me out after it's done in September. I wouldn't say we know each other really well, but we have a lot of similar interests and matching personalities based on how we text. If I could do away with text, I would. He's even mentioned multiple times how he likes that I'm serious, and he'll definitely take this forward. However, it's been almost 5 days since I last texted him, and he hasn't responded. He asked me some questions, and I responded to him, so that does require a response, but he seems to have went silent. One side of me thinks it's because he really is trying to focus on the exam now, which is in a few weeks, but he could have communicated that, right? He already did. How many times do you have to say the same thing? Are you deaf? Are you stupid? What, you got some issues with, you don't understand when people tell you stuff? They need to tell you the same shit over and over and over and over. He already told you, you even know when the test is. But yet, he could have communicated that, right? No, he already did. He doesn't want to do it over and over again like you stupid. Is this normal? Has he suddenly lost interest and it actually goes to me? God, you're dumb. I fully understand the importance of his exam, but I don't expect much communication or anything right now. But I can't tell if he's interested or if he's just using me as a backup for fun. This situation is entirely of your own making. The man told you he's not going to be available till September. We just got into August. If you don't want to wait around for this man to maybe possibly pick up the phone and invite you out in September, then you, just like you met him on the dating app, you can meet other people. You know, everybody's on the dating app because they're looking for a hookup anyway. So, I mean, what's the big deal? They all interchangeable like a dozen eggs. It's the same shit. It's supposed to be one just a new flavor of bullshit. So what's the problem? Just go find some other bullshit motherfucker and deal with him. And then when dude is available so you can savor his flavor of bullshit, then you can go over there with him. But it's going to be the same shit. I don't understand why you tripping so hard. God. He's told her he's busy, okay? He's already attacked. He's studying for his MCAT. He's not going to be texting her bitch ass all fucking day. And he's not going to do it over and over when he's already told her that he's busy until September. That means stop fucking texting me, expecting instant replies, and then demanding, well, it only takes a minute. You know, you could have done this. No, I'm not going to do that because I already told you I'm busy till September. If he's like me, then I would block her. He might be slick, but he might just be honestly doing that and be busy. Because I'm telling you, when I'm busy with stuff, and it don't matter how much I like to do. If I told you, because I had the situation with a guy, okay, I told him I was working on one of my books, right? And I work by, okay, I'm going to have the draft done this day, the second draft done this day. I want to start proofing it this day. I'm going to have it to the proofreader this day. I'm going to have it typeset by this day. So I'm on a schedule. Okay, so then I meet this dude. I said, you know, it's real nice to meet you and all that stuff. It's real cool and everything, but I don't really have a lot of time right now. I'm on a tight schedule because I want to have my book done in, within the next 90 days. I want to have it finished. Well, that seemed to go in one ear after the other. It's the same situation. I'm telling you up front, it's cool, but I just don't have time right now. Okay, just wait. And he want to text me all the time. He want to call, and then I'm like a 5-second call. Okay, yeah, I'm alive, whatever. But then I gotta go. Right? He would get mad because, well, you don't even have time to talk to me. But I already told you when I met you that I wasn't gonna have time till 90 days went by. I told you that. And you said you was cool with it, but now you want to make demands and be flipping out and getting all in your feelings and stuff. It's the same shit that he's going through. That's why I understand it so well. And so, like, most women would be like, well, he's not really, like, you don't know that for sure. None of us, we don't know anything. All we know is what's in the letter. And that's what I go by. But having experienced this exact same thing myself, when I was very clear, just like dude, on my timeline, and then the person who wanted my attention got in their feelings and started making demands and just acting stupid. So then ultimately, you know what happened? You don't get shit then. So he got blocked. It'd be over before it even got started because he was being too demanding. And I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing to make you feel better that I texted you and called you. I'm not going to do that. You're just going to either wait, like I told you to, or you can just go date somebody else. I mean, my world is still spinning and everything's still happening, whether you in it or not. Question number 18. This is a female in the 18 to 21 age group from Worthing, West Sussex. I cannot say that word to save my life. West Sussex in the UK. Male, 18 to 21. Do you notice that the majority of the letters tonight came from the UK? This is amazing. Summary of issue. My boyfriend told me that he will most likely cheat on me. Wow. And I don't know how to react. I have a boyfriend that told me that he has always cheated on his girlfriends in the past and that he is afraid he will cheat on me too. I want to talk about this with my mother, but I don't really have the opportunity. Could you give me the talk that mothers would have with their daughters when facing this situation? For context, this is my first real relationship, and he is basically my first in everything, but for him, I'm not. How do I react to the information that he gave me, and how do I abide? You don't abide, you just tell him, well, thank you, it's been magic. Okay, by saying that, okay, a man, he's afraid that he will cheat on, that means he's going to. Take afraid out of it, say, he is, no, or not, the part that says, he cheated on his girlfriends in the past and that he will cheat on me too. That's the part. So you just need to take out the he is afraid part. Take that part out and understand that, this is his pattern. This is his cycle. That's what he's going to do. So from my perspective, if you were my daughter, I would be very disappointed that that was who you chose to have your first experience with, because he's trash, he's garbage. But I mean, what's done is done. Can't go take it back. But I would explain to you that when a man tells you who he is, you need to believe him. Don't hold any kind of thing. Don't think that your coochie is special. Your love is different. Your love is going to change him. He's going to be different for you. It's not going to happen. He's a hoe. He's telling you he's a hoe. He's going to cheat on you, and just understand that's what time it is. For someone like you with no relationship experience, this is not a good bet for a first relationship. He's garbage. I mean, he's not about you at all. He's not interested in you the way that you are interested in him. So you need to back up emotionally from this. I mean, yeah, your feelings are still going to be hurt, but definitely don't invest any more emotions in him. Definitely make sure you don't get pregnant. Don't do any. Yeah, I would recommend that you not sleep with him anymore, so you can start separating yourself emotionally, and then just leave him to his little weird behaviors. Let him go do that, because that's what he likes to do. See, from my perspective, if a man knows he wants to be still single, living that single life, stop having girlfriends. You know why? But they have a girlfriend. You know why? Because it's booty on demand. I keep telling you, little girls, you shouldn't be nobody's girlfriend. If you go out with this one, that one, this one, that one. If you want to sleep with him, sleep with him. But then, if he's like a 30-second man, or he's raggedy in any kind of way or something, you're not invested in him, because he's not your boyfriend. All you have to do is just block his number and keep it moving. But once they feel like you're their girlfriend, they're going to be making all kinds of demands, and you're going to have to thinking that you have to meet them and all this old stuff here. Please. Yeah, I'm going to do what DP says, and make sure you go and get yourself tested, because you slept with a little hoe bag. Get yourself STD, take yourself to the gynecologist, and get all them full run a series of different chlamydia, all the other things, and make sure that you don't have nothing. And then don't ever touch him again. He's just nasty. My boyfriend. Dump his ass. Question number 19. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group from Richmond, Virginia. Summary of issue. Do men who approach stand out from men who slide into DMs? Okay. I've never been to Richmond, Virginia. Is that like DC, like a dust mite capital or something? Because this is a dusty ass question. Many people have told me that most women barely get approached in public, and approaching women is a better way to find a long-term girlfriend. They lied to you. Is this true? If I approach, will I stand out? Because when I am I'm sorry, I'm misreading. Because when I DM, he used lowercase letters. DM women, I get 0 responses. Thank you. I'm going to tell you, you don't DM women, because that's like pervy and sleazy behavior. I don't know who told you that was a good idea. And then, approaching women in public, women barely get approached in public, because counties and cities all over the country have had to enact laws against street harassment, because women couldn't even go anywhere because men would be fucking bothering them, hollering at them, trying to touch them, blocking their path, all kind of shit, trying to get women's attention. So they had to make laws so they could give men tickets or even arrest them to leave women alone. That's why most women don't get approached in public anymore, and we love it. Trust. Because it's just too much. You're just trying to go to work, trying to go to school, just trying to go home, trying to pick your kid up from daycare. I mean, just living your life, going to the doctor, going to see your mama in the hospital. Just, you got stuff to do. And here comes some nignog sitting there like, hey, what's your name is, Miss Lady? Smile. Let me, can I holler at you for a minute? No, motherfucker, you can't. Leave me the fuck alone, get out of my face. That's what they used to get from me. I'm busy. I got shit to do. I don't have time to stand around on the sidewalk jaw-jacking with your ass. Fuck out of here. But most women are very polite, and they're going to be like, oh, no, thank you, and stuff like that. But in Oakland, you can't be nice. You can't be nice. You got to come hard, because the men here are just weird. So you can be, try to be like, oh, no, thank you, I'm busy and stuff. They going to follow you. But if you turn around and blow, like go smooth off on them, they be like, well, damn, you didn't have to do all that. You could have just said no. But they knew what you turn and leave you alone. So the men here, you got to come hard, right, DP? You just have to go crazy on them, and then they'll, they leave you alone because they see you just as crazy as they are. But you be all polite. No, I'm just telling you. But it was the best thing in the world when I got a car. When I got a car, because I just don't have to be on public transportation and stand around on the public anymore. I be in my car. And so, I plastered my jazz and stuff. And so I'd be like, I'm in a happy state of mind. I'm like the stuff, Walter Beasley. Oh, I always liked him from the 80s. That's when I discovered him. But, he's got some new jams out. I'm like, oh, my God, this dude is doing it. Yeah, Oakland you got to be a savage. Got to be a savage in Oakland. Like all the little young girls are just like vile and vicious. And they have to be just to survive. It's terrible. Question number 20. This is a female in the 28 to 34 age group from Los Angeles. The male, same thing, and he's in the UK. Oh, as long as it's a long distance relationship. Certain issue. I fear my friend who will be visiting from abroad is expecting intimacy. Okay, how long is this? This sounds like it's going to be long. I knew it. There's something about, I'm getting so I could just tell by the way they phrase stuff. Okay, so maybe it won't be too bad. I met my friend on a solo trip last year to a tropical country after fleeing an abusive relationship 2 months before the wedding. This guy and I met, and from day one, we spent most of the trip together with his sister, and he helped me with, I want you guys, she's using that texting abbreviation shit. Candace, please don't give me these letters. It's too hard for me to read. Okay. Early on, I felt his attraction to me, but I brushed it off. But one night, we both got tipsy in the absence of his sister. I fell asleep and woke up to him touching me. He did it again, though I said no. I got up just letter N, lectured him about consent in. He was very apologetic and didn't try again. So he's just using the letter N. 2 days later, I hate this. I was tipsy, but I don't remember. We went to third base, but consensually this time. I didn't enjoy it, though. The last day of the trip, we had a lovely conversation and had a simple goodbye kiss. We kept in touch and talked on the phone, but it's purely friendly. Expect a few times, I think she means accept a few times, telling me he's impressed by how smart and cultivated I am, once that I'm very sexy. We were planning since the start to meet again this year, me visiting them in Europe, but I couldn't due to visa and financial issues. He suggested meeting later this year because I had told him I'm going to Canada to visit a relative, and he told me that he's planning to visit the U.S. next week for a few days since he has attending a wedding. I was a bit surprised for the short notice, but I helped him book 2 days in a hotel in my town. Then I booked 2 days in a B&B in a nearby coastal town. We booked a triple bedroom, and it was my suggestion because I can't afford to book my own, and I don't dare have him pay for mine. Despite my excitement, I can't help being concerned that he's going to come on to me and expect similar things to happen like last year. I have serious issues with boundaries and confrontation with the PTSD from a previous SA. Never had actual nook, and don't want to have it anytime soon. However, I fear I'm going to give in to it, even if I know I'm going to dread it for the before-mentioned reason, plus not being attracted to him. What should I do and how to act, knowing I actually appreciate him as a friend and his kindness towards me, but nothing more? Okay, I'm trying. Oh, hey, goddess. Thank you. Oh, yes, I'm going to be going to Costco to replenish my wine stock because it's gone with my friends coming by to toast. I'm going to say this. It's unfortunate that you have these boundary issues because the first boundary is when he wanted to come to your town, you should have told him no. Lie. I'm not going to be here. Well, when are you coming? And he would have told you, oh, that's too bad. I'm going to be gone that whole month. I wouldn't care if I was just in the bed, like twiddling my thumbs. I'm not going nowhere near him. But see, you left the door open and you made it seem like, you're amenable to spending time with him, and you're not. He's not the kind of dude that you should be around. Definitely not drinking. And I don't trust him. I mean, you could be having like a soda and he put something in it. I mean, I don't trust this guy. I mean, he's already shown himself to be untrustworthy and a boundary violator. So why would you want to be around somebody like that? Why would you put yourself in that situation? I'm very concerned for you because you don't seem to have your protectiveness is not for yourself is not there. I mean, this guy is already, you told him no, and then he did something else another time, and you went through with it. You said it was consensual, but I'm not feeling it because it doesn't sound like the conversation that you're having about it doesn't sound consensual to me. It sounds like coercion. And so I'm really concerned about you, trying to book this thing where you're going to be in a bedroom in the same house or whatever you build, the unit, whatever it is that you booked, and he's just going to be right down the hallway from you, and you're going to be sleeping, defenseless, and he's there going to be there. No, you should not do this. Please cancel this. Please cancel this plan. Do it before they come so they can get their money back if they paid whatever they paid. Cancel it and then tell him that you're not going to see them anymore and you don't really want to be friends with him either. There's no way you can be friends with someone who's treated you like that. That's the part, you're like, kindness. He showed me, where's the kindness when he treated you that way and did those things to you? I'm really confused about how you see this so differently than I do. I see a garbage ass fool man who just wants to use your body to satisfy himself by any means necessary. And I see you trying to suck up to him and be his quote friend. And I don't see where this is benefiting you at all. This is very scary. Your attitude about this is very scary. Cancel this trip and stop talking to this fool. Block him and his sister. Question number 21. Male, 28 to 34 from Portland. Summary of issue: how to deal with boring dates. How to discuss other topics. Workaholic woman. I guess, is this all one thing? So I'm trying to date this girl, and she's very businesslike and curt and to the point. To others, when we went out a couple of times, she's really dropping some hints here and there, but I am so dry as a desert due to her focus on work. She's dropping hints there, here and there. It's about some booty. Is that what you're trying to hint at? She is more relaxed, but it's still too much for me. I wasn't really in the mood. I tried changing topics, but whenever there's a lull, she continued on work. The lulls are actually just a few, and we kept talking a lot. One of my more better dates, to be honest. She had a hard time growing up and living. She had to support herself at a young age, and she is thrifty. She is the best, independent, decisive, and a fiery woman, so I definitely like her. She always insists on splitting the bill and even treated me to ice cream. I insisted and paid for myself, though, and I regretted that because she looked so put off. She treated me to some buttered popcorn, and I did accept that. From previous experience, they always talk too much or don't talk at all, so I need some conversation skills here. I'm in love, but, give me something to work with, Everything went perfect, but some improvements could be made. She is extremely attentive in chats, but her only adjective is nice, and her favorite word is sure. She told me, however, that she loves my long paragraphs, and I respect that she's like that. I sent her 18 long messages at 2 a.m., and she read and laughed at half of it. I also wanted to add that she kept mentioning her work and its flexible schedule because I expressed my disappointment when she flaked. She told me that she would continue working to provide herself an income. I actually don't mind that at all, then I will respect that. I'm always the one initiating, and I don't know if that's normal. Well, it is for somebody who's as work-focused as she is. I mean, you know what time it is, so why are you complaining? This is who she is, dude. Either accept it and deal with it and shut up, or move on and find somebody else. But what you want to do is try to take somebody who's a workaholic and who's grew up in a situation where she did without, so her job and her income is magnified in importance to her. You're not understanding what she's telling you. This girl lived a life of fear and doing without. She never wants to experience that again. That's what she's trying to tell you. And you're not getting it. All you're thinking about is yourself and how it's bothering you that she only wants to talk about work. What you should do to get her to stop talking about work is explore her feelings with her and say, okay, you talk about your work a lot. What does work really mean to you? Let her tell you. So why is your job so important to you? What do you get out of that? That's the kind of questions that you would have if somebody was really fucking interested in you as a person. She's telling you what she does, but you're not getting why she does it, and you haven't even asked. Yet you talking about, well, I love her. No, you don't. You love what you think you're going to get from her. but you don't really know her because you're not taking the time to investigate the woman. If I can see this, and I'm just reading a letter about the conversation, I haven't met the girl at all, and I can see that I'm trying to figure out what it is that you going on these dates and what you doing, sitting across the table from her, and she's telling you this stuff, and that never clicked to you. You never thought that you should ask her those questions and dig deeper. You about one little shallow piece of something. I don't know what to say about you. Yeah, she says, I'm going to continue to work to provide myself. And she never want to be like a stay-at-home mother depending on somebody else's income. Oh, that's never going to happen. Not with this girl. She just, that would be like her number one terror. So you need to rethink this. And, if you're not going to really delve into who she is as a person, what motivates her to make the choices that she makes, then that means you're not really trying to get to know her. Okay? You just want a girlfriend. Yeah, she's got some stuff going on here. Poor thing. Okay, question 22. This is a young man in the 28 to 34 age group from Tucson, Arizona. Summary of issue. I have been with my girlfriend for the past 6.5 years, and my role seems to be her caretaker. We met online, hit it off right away. She moved from her hometown to live with me while I went through grad school. I'm now a therapist/social worker. My family has habits of falling into a caretaker role. My grandmother and mom both have this kind of personality where they sort of thrive off of caring for others, but it burns them out, and I feel I'm the same way. Oh, that's not good. My girlfriend, listen to this, y'all. My girlfriend has severe mental health difficulties, PTSD, depression, anxiety, ADHD, a habit of self-harm, period. Physical issues as well, chronic pain, bad lung, bad knee, frequent dizzy spells, terrible periods where she is bedridden for days due to cramps, period. She has gone through about 30 jobs in our relationship, all of them ending in either her being fired or her health just preventing her from continuing and her quitting. She has gone through 10 therapists and several psychiatrists. She wouldn't have been my girlfriend. I'm sorry. She's now trying to, she's tried tons of meds. Nothing has really stuck. She is now trying to get on disabilities, but she's been denied 3 times. In the meantime, I am supporting us by working full-time, paying all our bills to keep a roof. Wow. She found a sucker over our head, food on the table, and ensured that our cats are taken care of. Fluffy got to go. I cook most of the meals. I do most of the cleaning. I try my best to listen without trying to fix things and give her a lot of affection and emotional support. She wants to get married, has for a long time. I bet she does. And I keep putting it off because I'm not sure I want to commit my entire life to caring for her and hoping things change. I have some trauma from the relationship too. She has self-harmed and made S-type of gestures in front of me. This happened mostly in the first 1 or 2 years and it stopped after that. And yet you stayed. I'm not sure how much longer I can be flexible and fight for this relationship to work. She knows my concerns and says she wants to get better, but in 6.5 years, not much has changed. I want to be able to save money for a house, travel, have kids at some point. But these are things I really cannot do with her at this time or ever. If you had a kid by this crazy as a bestie bug bitch, you would be about something would be wrong with you. Don't you know all this shit she got going on is inheritable? It comes in the DNA and shit. So your kids will come out just as with much of a whack job as she is. Then you have a whole house full of loony people. Dude, for real? Get rid of this bitch. I'm not even sure. What the hell are you doing? If I break it off, it has to be for good this time, even though she could very well end up on the street or worse. No, she wants social services to put her someplace. If I stay, I'm afraid I'll run the risk of wasting years of my life being a caretaker and giving far more than I get when I could very well find an equal partner out there. What would you do in this situation? I already told you. I forgot you said this was a what would Deb do question. Hunting. Soon. And she told, well, let me go back to this list that you had here of all this stuff. Okay. Once I found out that okay, you said severe mental health. Once I found out that she had depression and or anxiety, I'm out. I don't do depression and anxiety. I don't do ADHD. I don't do people that want to self-harm. I already have enough joint issues myself from, different car. I've had like 5 car accidents, fell down some stairs and stuff, broke my clavicle, dislocated my shoulder, broke my arm in that fall. That was horrible. The strokes and shit last year, I jacked up my shoulder and fell into the bathtub. I was fucked up from that. But all of these things, I make it a conscious effort to recover from. I'm not going to let that stop me. I'm not going to be depressed about it. I did what I could do to get over it. I'm still working on that. And I have, the attitude is the world doesn't stop me. If anything, I stop the world so that, I can do what I want to do, and then we can start the world spinning again. That's my attitude. I'm not going to let nothing's going to crush me. But if you have somebody who's going to let things crush them all the time and then sit around and feel sorry for themselves and then make you be responsible for them, well, see, that's where I draw the line. And I've been like, oh, no, we can't do this. Boop, I'm out. I don't do this kind of stuff. She losing 30 jobs and stuff, and you taking care of her. Say, none of this would have happened. Soon as I seen that she was taking some kind of mental health drug or she's got some problems in that kind of way, I'd have been like, oh, we can't do this. We can't do this. I don't date crazy men. I met this dude, he's talking about he's depressed. And I noticed he took some lithium. That's the first thing I knew what lithium looked like because they had clients on it, right? I was a trainer. And, I have to know all their medications because all of those medications change your exercise response, right? Your heart rate, your lungs, your breathing, all the stuff, right? You might, can't go over certain heart. I mean, there's all kind of different regulations with the different medications. So I'm seeing him pop this pill. I said, what is that? Oh, it's not. I said, that looked like lithium. Oh, it is. How do you know about lithium? I'm thinking, oh, this motherfucker crazy. I'm out. I didn't say that to him, though. I waited until, the next day after the date. He called saying, oh, I wanted to have a second date. Let's go on another date. I'm like, no, I think that was our second date, or third date, something like that. But anyway, he was taking it with his water after dinner. And he wanted to have another date. I was like, oh, no, can't possibly do that. Yeah, 30 jobs, he says. Yeah. She's had 30 jobs in however many years they've been together. 30 plus jobs, he says. 30 plus jobs in her relationship. And she's had 10 therapists and several psychiatrists. Tons of medications. So, see, and he stuck around. I wouldn't have known all of that because she would have been out of my life after that first one. Yeah, no. Nope. But, my daddy used to always say there's certain men that like crazy bees. They like crazy bees. And I think he's one of them. Okay, so here's our final letter of the day. Thank goodness we made it to the letter number 23. This is a male in the 28 to 34 age group from Las Vegas, Nevada. Summary of issue. Women of the squad. What are the top 5 things that you look for in a guy? This is a simple question. I recently saw a bunch of articles on that lonely guy epidemic or whatever, and I just wanted to see what women look for and how often they find it. Could be anything, looks, beliefs, personality, etc. So this is a question for you two, for you guys. I hope you heard it. I'm going to read it again because I know most of you probably was doing something else and not paying attention. This writer is looking for your answers to this question. So you guys type what your things in the chat. He says he saw that article, that lonely guy epidemic, that we did a video on that. And he just says, I wanted to see what women look for and how often they find it. Could be anything, looks, beliefs, personality, etc. I will start. How often you find it? Rarely. But I tell you, when I was younger, my list wasn't as involved as it is now, because now I know myself more, and I know more about what I need, not want, need in a partner. And if I don't find it, there would be no reason for me to engage with that man. I have so much stuff going on. I barely have time to do what I need to do now. So I would have to carve space out for someone. And I'm not going to do that unless I feel he's worthy. And what kind of things am I looking for? You have your shit together. Okay, have your shit together. And that, like you're not living pillar to post. You got your own spot. You got your own ride. You got your own income. Your shit is together. That's what I mean. If you got kids, your child support is up to date. You have a relationship with your children. You have a relationship with the child's mom, and it's a respectful one. Okay, I don't want to come into no baby mama drama. Even if your children are adults now, it doesn't matter. You still, there's going to be marriages, college graduations, birthday parties, graduation parties for the kids, Christmas and stuff like that. So you will be interacting with that other parent and those adult children and their children. So you need to understand, they need to have a respectful relationship. Those are the kind of things I look for. Does this man respect women? Me especially. Does he refer to women as B's and H's and stuff like that? Negative perception of women, I don't do that. And I also don't like a man who starts talking about God and Jesus all the time. Yeah, I don't want to hear all that. I want to hear what you doing. Where's your power? What do you make happen? That's what I want to hear. So that's, pretty, and then those are my list of things that will immediately get a guy either, screened in or screened out. And then there's, a long list of other things, of course, like, the second level stuff. But from the jump, those things, I don't care about some other stuff because, I like somebody says honesty. I can't really claim that because I'm not the most honest myself. I like to play too many games with men's minds. And I know this. So what would I look like saying I want a man who's honest when I know I'm not going to be? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to test you first to see if I can be honest with you. But from the gate, I'm not going to be honest, and I'm not going to expect it from you either because I'm not going to give it to you. Yeah, it is, but he's just trying to, he's just trying to figure out, what he's missing, it sounds like to me. He wants to know how often they find it, and that's the thing. That's going to be the thing there. Well, they want that, but they can't even find it. Women are just unrealistic. That's what he's going to go for, I can tell right now. Because otherwise there would be no reason to ask that part of the question. You know what I mean? There'd be no reason to put that part in there. So there's obviously, he's going to be trying to use this for evil. But, I think we can find, no time waster. That's number one, Anna, get it. I think that, it's an interesting thing because say you have a list, say this, you have 7 things that you really, looking for. So you find man A, he's got 4 things. You find man B, he's got 4 things, but it's 4, there's one thing that's in common, but he got the other 3 of the 7 to make the 4. Then you got one guy, he's got 3. But then you meet this guy, he's got 5, but the 3 that he's missed, the 2 that he's missing are like of major importance to you to the point where they overshadow the other 5. So it's a very hard thing to really say to men because, and it varies. I mean, it varies. For the woman, they could be looking for the same things on this list here, looking for the same things, but the weight of the objects in the order of the list is going to be different. So yeah, most women are looking for honesty. Most women are looking for integrity. Most women look for, the good time in bed. They look for these things, but the order of those things and the importance and the weight put on those things is going to vary from woman to woman. So it can't really be, there's no one standard. Even if women are looking for a lot of the same things, it's going to land differently because every woman is different. And they want different things. Like some women might want a man who, be taking care of them financially and stuff. And other women are like, well, I make enough money for 5 people, so I don't care about all of that. I just need him to be there emotionally. So, she doesn't want somebody who's not broke, of course. So for her, someone who's financially stable, it's on the list, but it's at the bottom. Well, for somebody else who's not balling like her, it might be at the top, but the list is the same. That's what I'm trying to get guys to understand. So that it's really kind of hard to define what women are looking for. There's a lot of things in common, but like I said, it's going to land differently depending on the woman that you're talking to. Like you say, someone say, I want a God-fearing man. You will never see that on my list. That will never be there. Because I don't want that. As soon as they start trying to lecture me about God or Jesus, my ears shut down. My brain just freezes, and I just find myself saying, I don't care. Leave me alone. As a matter of fact, that's what my shirt says. It says, "'Cause I just don't care anymore." That's what my shirt says. I made this shirt for me and a friend of mine because this is his I made it for his birthday, and I made myself one too. Because that's what he says all the time. I just don't care anymore. I just don't care anymore. I'm like, dude. So I said, I'm gonna put that on the t-shirt. He didn't believe me. And it was his birthday. He gave him the box with the bow on and stuff. He opened it up and he was falling out. I took a picture of him in it. It's too funny. But yeah, that's our column for today. Like I said, I will make it a point to do the suggestion that was made the other day of a webinar for women on how to speak up for themselves. We need to give you guys scripts. So I will be inviting women to submit scenarios of situations where they did not speak up. But look for all that. And I got to, get my survey together and get my questions together and stuff. And I will be soliciting your contributions. And then I will put together responses. And then, also like in webinars, people can ask questions like on the fly. But you do the presentation first and then let you guys, present your scenarios on the fly. And I'll answer those just like I do on these advice, questions just on the fly. But I think this is very important. It just bothers me so much to see how many women don't stand up for themselves. Just let people just walk all over them. So thank you, ladies. I enjoyed myself too. And I will try to get these pictures off my phone. I'll probably put them up on the community wall. That's probably better than trying to put them on the show. I'll put them on the community wall so you guys can see the food that I ate and, the stuff from the dinners and whatnot, so you can participate. And then I'll show you guys the lady who did my massage today too. Her little place is cute. So it'll be my birthday post. All right. So I'll see you guys real soon on tomorrow night actually for the Dusty News Network. So be here same time, 6 p.m. Pacific time. That's 9 if you're on the East Coast. Bring your drink and be prepared to laugh.